me crazy. And I finally got a contract, and it's up and running. And I do think people are relaxing a little bit now that that we understood this is our new norms. We are taking precautions, but people are more open to at least it's my experience, to invite me to their house when I make the phone calls. Like yesterday I was at a listing presentation. If I had done that phone call 2 months ago, I wouldn't be able to get into the house, especially with a 69-year-old guy.
That's great. Very good. Yes, more positive stories. Well, I know we have a couple of news. We got Glenda had her baby born, and Sam had a baby born as well. So we celebrate your family growing and this experience. To me, there's nothing I love more than children.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ron.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
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 Thanks.
Thank you.
So hopefully we can work on make you guys better leaders, so that you can actually provide leadership to the newborns, and we can change this weird vibe that we have all around us these days. Good stuff. More good news. Yes, Kevin?
I listed one thing. I want to compliment Ruben. I had him come out, do photographs of a listing, did the video. That's a much better way to fly than the old way. I listed the property Tuesday, made the first day to show it Saturday. Had an offer Saturday. They came back again Sunday. Then the offer was too low. It was a cash offer. They're trying to steal the property. Showed it again Monday to somebody, and they made the offer full boat. And it was very good. I really like the virtual showing. It's with a lot of professional photographs to go along with the video. There's a lot less questions, and it just excites a lot of people, and then people come out. Again, I would say people are getting more, it's an intellectual thing on how to deal with this COVID-19. You wear the mask. Thank you for the mask. And you interface with other people who know they're wearing masks too. So it was a positive. The last 30 days have been positive. I really like the Ruben, having Ruben involved is fantastic.
That's great. Good news, man. That's good stuff. I like it a lot. Thanks for sharing. Guys, all of you got the masks already? Because I still get some people that are telling me they didn't receive the mail yet.
I did, thank you.
Okay, I know Ruben didn't get his yet. Anyone else who still didn't get their mask?
I have to check that property. That's where my mail goes to. But I'm sure it's there.
Okay. Who else didn't get it? All right, so there is a gap between those of you that said I didn't get it and the pictures that we actually got from you guys who got it. So if you think you're super ugly, trust me, with the mask on, you're gonna look great. So put the mask on and take a freaking picture so we can use it. For crying out loud, everything is grinding over here. So I want to know, other than Kevin, thank you for sharing, who else have been using Ruben, and what's the experience on a positive level? Please.
I used Ruben the other day. Thank you, Ruben. He did an awesome job. I had a listing that the seller would not let me let the photographer in the house because of COVID. And then finally she let him in. And prior to Ruben's photos, I had the listing up. I only got 2 phone calls. And then I took it off the market and put it back up after Ruben did the virtual tour and the photos, and I've been getting calls and showings this week.
That's great. Good stuff. And you'll probably sell it by next week. God's willing.
Fingers crossed.
All right. The real question that I always have in my mind as someone who knows the possibilities that our business is bringing us, because I experienced it, not using the photographer or any photographer services and going by yourself, snapping out some pictures with your iPhone in the era that we live in today, I think is ridiculous, unless the property looks like doesn't need much. You know, it's like a fixer-upper as an example. And even if you have a fixer-upper, in my opinion, I always was teaching people, when you have a fixer-upper, you need to show the worst pictures you have. That's what you need to advertise if you have a fixer-upper. But if you have a property that is a moving condition, you need to show the best features. And the only way to do that is with someone who really knows what he's doing. So Ruben, thanks for that. I know that Ruben fell behind this past week. He had an issue with the camera. A lot of other things that happened in his private life that caused him to fall behind. I know with James, they had some, some bad experience. And I know Ruben, and I know it's, it's something that's not going to happen again. It's just, I believe, again, miscommunication between people always creates issues. But in my opinion, I think that all across the board, Ruben is an outstanding guy who will go the extra mile to make things happen for all of you. And that's the only reason I brought him in as the photographer. And again, we're always going to have some stuff that's happening that is standing in our way to deliver what it is that we want. In my opinion, my personal attitude in life is always give 100% of yourself 100% of the time. And if a person is not doing that and they had a good reason, then, they had a good reason. What can I do? Nothing always works as planned. But I know that a lot of you that are using it are getting great results. I know myself, because I'm running another company down in New York, and they actually moved, it's a rental agency, and they moved from doing actual showings. Like, how many people can you meet every day, okay, and show property, show apartments until you get one rented? You can show 3, 4, 5 before they rent one. So we started working with virtual videos, and 90% of the agents are doing 10, listen to what I'm saying right now, 10 times more business than they did before COVID, because they started utilizing virtual showings. They're not even leaving their desk. They're doing 3, 4, 5 appointments a day, showing on a Zoom, sharing videos of, and then when the person actually likes that video, they're not just sending them videos, hey, watch this video, if you like it, call me back. No, they don't do that. They book a Zoom session with a qualified person. They go like this face to face, they share their screen and show them different videos of different apartments. And when the other side says, I like this one, then they go out and they show it and they sign a lease. You guys can implement a similar situation when you work with buyers. That's my opinion. The biggest problem in our industry and why people are stuck at the same production level for 10, 15, 20 years. And by the way, this was a research that was done. I need to look for it because I haven't read it for a long time, but it was done. I read it like 5, 6 years ago. They did a research of all the agents all across the board in America, okay? Real estate agents who get X amount of deals, whatever that is, in the first 2 years of the business, 90% of them never pass the X amount of deals they did in the first 2 years. That is how important it is to, number one, have a coach. Number two, get rid of your ego, thinking that you know best how to do what you do, because you don't. Number three, you need to understand that if you're stuck at a ceiling, like if you're stuck at 20 deals a year, or look back like 5 years, hey, you've been 5 years in the business, tell me how many deals you did more than what you did in the second year. And if you are growing, how much of growth do you have, and then how many agents actually grow? Statistically, they say 10% of agents continuously grow in production. Most people are stuck at a certain ceiling. It can be I'm stuck between 10 and 15 deals. It can be I'm stuck between 15 and 20. It can be I'm stuck between 25 and 30. but majority of people are not going to go from 25 to 50, from 50 to 80, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's look at what happened in the month of May. We got some changes in production, so I want to share my screen real quickly and show you guys what's happening. So let's start with this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So in the month of May, we had Jean getting 1 listing. I'm not counting rentals. We had Sam with 1 listing, Selena with 1 listing, Carlos with 1 listing, and Kevin with 1 listing. We're talking about active listings. I'm not talking about under contract. I will talk about that in a second. So these are listings, active listings. We got Arthur with 2, Millie with 2, and Lisette with 2. Now, Arthur and Millie have been on the board since the day they joined us, basically. But Lisette is what I call a rising star. And I tell you guys, I love competition. And I also want to tell you another thing, which I told the other company the other day. And this is from my heart to your heart. Let's be truthful and open up. In my opinion, if you can't be happy for someone else's success, if you can't find room in yourself to find joy and happiness by seeing someone else being successful, then you will never be successful, not truly. And let me explain myself just for a quick second. If I am looking at someone, guys, I am also in fault because sometimes I have these feelings. But I want to show you how I analyze and broken them down. And that's what I'd like to, I'm always going to talk about the things that I believe everyone else, if everyone else was doing, we will have a better world. So when I look at myself, sometimes, like now it's happening very rarely and it's almost not there because I'm working on it very, very hard. First of all, I look in the mirror a lot. Not because I'm looking at a real mirror. I'm looking at a mirror, meaning I measure myself against myself. And this is the only way to measure yourself. I measure myself against what I believe is my potential. And I never match my potential. And I hope to God that I will never match, really meet my true potential because I always want to grow. And my potential, as I grow, I recognize how much more potential I have. So as I grow, I realize, oh my God, it's like unbelievable where we can go with this thing. So to me, it's very important that we can project into the world, sharing with the world, how to have joy by looking at other people that are achieving success. The majority of people, and again, I say, including myself, the majority of people have jealousy. And this is from the beginning of times. You cannot change it. It's part of who we are. When we are born, it's part of our DNA, everybody's DNA. Part of the DNA is to have jealousy. It's just how we are built. I believe that God put it there so that we can then improve ourselves. And that's what it's all about. Life is about improving ourselves and reaching a higher place for myself. So everyone, like when you see, for example, ladies, when you see a lady walks next to you, let's say that you are struggling financially, you're barely paying, you barely finish the month, you owe some money to some people, or you owe some credit card debt, or you're struggling in your financial life, it's really hard for you. And then suddenly you see a lady coming out of a, fancy Mercedes with amazing shoes and an amazing bag, and you're looking at her and say to yourself, wow, like, and that looking at her, if you're struggling and you see someone else who's not, who is successful, it's like a little bit of a pinch in your heart almost. If you tell me that you don't feel the pinch, maybe you're an angel, but I don't believe that you don't have the pinch. So here's what I'm saying. Everyone has this pinch, but you have to work on yourself to make this pinch positive pinch, meaning now you're not measuring yourself with that lady who just left the Mercedes. You're looking at yourself in the mirror and you talk to yourself and say, do you really like this shitty condition that you're in right now? Like you talk to yourself in the mirror. Are you going to wake up here or are we going to continue to do this life? So we have this, as long as you have something in your belly, this is very deep, guys. As long as you have something in your belly that you want, if you want something right now that you don't have, as long as it's there, you cannot be happy for someone else. Let me explain what I mean. If I put a goal on my board, I want to buy this yacht. Until I buy this yacht, every time I see a yacht, I get pissed off with myself because I'm not there yet. And sometimes getting pissed off with yourself is like this pinch that I'm talking about. But some people don't get pissed off with themselves. They get pissed off with the person who actually has the yacht. And they start talking, look at this guy wasting all his money. He should give more money to charity. Look at this guy doing this. The rich people are so bad. And you look at all the movies, all the TV shows, they're all talking about that. There's a guy named Randy Gage who is coaching people about prosperity. And he's coaching and teaching you that you cannot be prosperous. You cannot. Money is not going to come to you in an easy way, in a nice flow where you don't need to kill yourself for it. It's not going to happen until you actually learn how to deal with these kind of things. So when we're looking all across the board, we see different things that we wish we could have. Oh, I wish I could have that as well. And that's what I'm talking about, that can come out as a jealousy that is negative jealousy, that you say, oh, look at this B coming out of the Mercedes with all her stuff, and she's always like, da, da, da. And all this attitude is the exact opposite attitude that you should have about it. The other attitude is, look at this, beautiful woman coming over this Mercedes, beautiful car, beautiful shoes, beautiful bag. I wonder what she's doing. Let me approach her and ask. Let me try to get to know her. Maybe you're judging and say, oh, look at this rich chick. She was giving all her money by the father. And then you find out that she was raped when she was 14 years old and throughout her, teenage life. And then when she actually created this wealth by herself, but you're judging in your own mind. So you have this positive and negative that we walk through as we walk through life. As long as you have this pinch in your belly, it means that you didn't reach your potential. And that's the anger. The anger is not about her. It has nothing to do with them, with everybody outside. It has something to do with you, with your own self. If you can reach a point when you don't need anything, you don't want anything else, that's the only time that you reach what we call true happiness, because you're not connected with handcuffs to whatever it is that you want to achieve. Okay? Now, meditation and going to the mountains, trust me, doesn't help. I tried it. Doesn't work. Because that's not what needs to be happening. What needs to be happening is you working on yourself and achieving things in your life. Being able to achieve small stuff. I'm talking about small stuff. Kudos to Lisette. When I met Lisette, she was in a place that was, she just came out shaking herself out of the past and wanting to go into the future, to do something that's big, aiming on some seriously big goals. And she decided to join our company. As a matter of fact, I told her, like last month was 12 months completion of her coaching one-on-one with me. And if you look at her production a year ago, and you look at her production right now, I'm going to show you right now, it's unbelievable. And why is it unbelievable? Because she is working on reaching her higher self. She knows that she's capable of getting there, and she's coachable. She removed the ego. And by the way, Lisette, you are one of the people who have less ego of all the people that I know, like in an incredible way, which is great. I love working with you because of that reason. You know how to laugh at yourself. You know how to ask questions in a way that is like there's no ego. It's just like, hey, show me, teach me. I want to learn. I want to see, right? The next steps. And look, you picked up big time. You started prospecting. You started following up. I'm still bothering you about other stuff that you're not doing well. And that's what it's all about, holding you accountable. But I want to congratulate you for, bringing yourself up to the top. and I do believe that you'll stay there and you know, exceed those levels. And I think that everyone else should look up to it, not looking down at it. So let's keep going. Pending status listings. Now we're talking, these are active listings, and now pending status listings. We have Lisette with 5 pending listings. These are not buyer deals. These are actual listings that she snapped out of her comfort zone, started prospecting, cold calling. As far as I know, if I'm not mistaken, most of these, if not all, are cold market. These are not, a friend of mine called me to list their house. These are actually prospecting leads that she went after, and she picked up those listings. Second in place is Cynthia and Sam also with 3. And then we got Robin with 2 pending listings. Selena has 1 and Carlos has 1. And then we got pending selling side. Sam is freaking killing it. He's got 8 pendings right now. I believe he has more from the moment we wrote this until now. A couple of days passed. Sam is definitely killing it. He's aiming towards 50 deals this year. Congratulations, Sam. I think you did, you know, your path from when you joined me with 5 deals and now you're doing like towards 50. That's incredible. You are also very coachable. You still have a lot to learn. I mean, you can just imagine. You are following about what, half of what we teach. You still fall off the tree many times. So 50% utilizing what we teach brings you to 50 deals a year. You can just imagine where you're going. Okay, so congratulations on that. Millie with 5 pending selling side, congratulations. And then we got Lisette, Elvis, Casey, Arthur with 2 deals. Elvis, congratulations as a brand new agent coming in. You're going in the right direction. We got Selena with 1, Cynthia has 1, and Amanda has 1, and Schumann has 1. So these are the numbers for the month. I want to show you also the other graph, and that's volume. So what I showed you now is actually sides, what we call sides, and what I'm showing you now is volume. Number 1 in the office in volume, Lisette Guzman. Number 2 is Selena. Number 3 is Sam. 4 is Millie. 5 Cynthia, and 6 James with a rental. All right, guys, I'm going to open up the mic because I want Lisette and Sam to share just your feelings. You know, how did you go from where you've been until this moment? How that happened? What are you utilizing from our company platforms? And just talk about your experience. Let's start with Lisette. Ladies first.
Thank you for the kudos, but thank you overall for your support. Your coaching I think is the key point. Thank you for that. Sometimes I want to kill you, Ron. I need to confess it, but I know it's for my good, my own good. Well, I'm just following the system as much as I can. And that's it, doing the work. Prospecting is the key. Following up is the key. It's that. There's not like secret sauce. It's doing the work.
That's great. Well, you didn't do that before. So what's causing you to make a decision to, that's it, I am going to a certain direction, putting a dot on the board and saying, this is my direction, I'm going there. What's causing you? Why didn't you do it before and why are you doing it now?
Because I didn't know what to do. I knew I was not doing it right. I was looking for a better way. I understood. I was completely sure I was not doing it right. So by getting to know you and getting to know to join Circle 100, I got to the right place, and I started understanding what it was that I was missing, and understanding the business, and understanding how to be successful, and what were the steps that I needed to do every day in order to be successful. So that, understanding and learning and educating myself, because I read a lot besides what I do with you, and the coachings and all that. It's learning about the business, and that's it.
Do you remember your biggest challenge at the beginning? Because I do.
The calls with my accent. I hated
Yes.
it. I felt so exposed. I felt so embarrassed and ashamed. But yesterday, God spoke to me so clear, so clear. I called this guy. It was a follow-up call. And he invited me to go to a listing presentation. And I went. And he had interviewed 4 agents. All of them were Caucasian. And I was just wondering why you decided to invite me over. And he said, you have a beautiful accent, and your professionalism speaks very high. And I was like, oh, that's what I needed to hear. My accent is my accent.
Your
And
accent
also,
is actually why people work with you. That's like what you thought before that it works against you is actually working to your favor.
Exactly. So he said, and also you are bilingual, and we are in a neighborhood that I think I'll I'll benefit from that. So now it's understanding, embracing and accepting myself, because I've been an outsider my entire life, and I feel like it's also dealing with my mental shift, my own mindsets, my own beliefs. So by working with that and understanding and accepting myself and loving myself for who I am, it's making me also wanting to make the phone calls and doing it, and just accepting, embracing my own fears and not letting them control me.
That's great. And that's, by the way, what you just said is why you're climbing, and why you're aiming higher, and why you're taking chances, and why you're doing all that stuff.
By the way,
I also believe that there is something else you didn't talk about, which is you got to a point in your life when you told me that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and talking about it to yourself and having this conversation in your own mind. I should prospect, I should start, I should. And then you went for it.
Mm-hmm. With tears.
With tears. Do you want, well, that's what stepping outside of our comfort zone is about, pain. And when you start feeling comfortable with pain is when you are breaking through endless ceilings, and you will go far. You'll see. We will have another conversation 2 years from now when you're doing 50 plus, and maybe 5 years from now, maybe you want to do 100 plus. I don't know how far you want to take this thing, but you did share a goal with me. If you want to share with everybody else, like you put a big goal on your thing. What was that big goal?
About the 10x?
About the 10x.
That is, you were the first person that I shared that.
You don't have to share it. You can keep it.
No.
But if you make it public, you're stepping up to the next level.
Okay. Well, I read this book about the 10x by Grant Cardone, and he said that it made all the sense to me that if you aim for $1 million with the cost of living right now, that's not a lot of that's not money at all to be able to retire and have a good life. To aim for $10 million. I know you read that book because you've been talking a lot about that, right?
Right.
So I was super bold, and I said, okay, so I don't want $1 million. I want $10 million. And I know I'm not even close to that, to getting there, but that is my goal.
But let me tell you something else. When you get closer, you will then 10x that goal as well, and you will keep going. And that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the conversation, having a ceiling, but then you discover yourself and you're like, dude, that's not my ceiling. My ceiling is over here. And then you grow up, you're like, dude, that's not my ceiling. And that's life.
Mm-hmm. You said something. You said something that it was one of the another of the reasons I decided to do the prospecting. And you said, aren't you tired of being embarrassed for not having enough?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been embarrassed my whole life. I've been a very poor person, and I come from very, poor family, which I am very grateful and proud of them, and having the opportunity to helping them and supporting them financial. It's very rewarding to me. So
Absolutely.
yes. So and I think those are, I said, yes, I am embarrassed of that, but I've been embarrassed enough. It's not enough. I need to take action. So that's what I'm doing. And as a matter of fact, I have 7 pendings right now.
Woo! 7 pendings.
Yes.
Good for
And
you.
so,
That's
yes.
great.
Thank you.
Very good. Congratulations to Lisette. Feel free to open your microphone and clap.
That's very inspiring, Lisette.
Awesome job.
Good job.
All right. Good stuff. Let's bring up Sam, the new father over here, and to share some of his journey with you guys as well.
Good morning, guys. I mean, I'm not going to take up too much time because I don't like to talk about myself, number one. And number two, I have a baby on my arm.
What's the baby? What are you doing? What's the baby?
All right, hold on.
What are you doing? Wow. So tiny.
So that's what I'm doing right now. So, I mean, I do want to say, Lisette has been killing it. I've noticed, and it's inspiring. It motivates me, to be honest with you. And it's seeing somebody that just is just consistent with what they do, and kind of, you can tell she wants it. She wants success. She'll do whatever it takes for success, and she has nothing to lose. And that's inspiring. I love that. So I've noticed, Lisette. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So I think your question was, what am I doing, Ron? So what has really helped me, and I want to say what me and Lisette also have in common is I find that we're listening to a lot of the same people. I think when we were role playing, you brought up a few people that you were listening to and I was listening to as well. Grant Cardone is one of them. A bunch of other people too, including Ron. But we're looking to learn. So I'm just looking to learn. I'm looking to hear as many different perspectives as possible, and I think it helps. Personally, what really works in my business, and what I've adopted from Ricky Carruth, who's a coach out there, is relationships. I'm all about relationships. I'm all about genuine relationships. I don't care about the commission. I don't care about how long it takes to close. I want to help the buyers. I want to educate the buyers. And I really want to establish that relationship. I want buyers to text me anytime. I have my buyers that closed 2 years ago still texting me. 1 month ago, text me, invite me over on the grill, and that's what I want. And those become sellers. Sellers become buyers again, and those become referrals. So I think people just tend to forget about the basics of just establishing relationships. I don't pay any zero leads. I don't do any of that stuff. And I'm probably at 50 deals. So it's all about how many people can I help in a day? How many people can I talk to in a day? And that's it. Relationship. Prospecting is another thing that is just it works. I think a lot of people give up on it because it's not an immediate. You're not going to get. It's not an immediate satisfaction. Follow up is key. My little one here has not allowed me to prospect this past month, but that's okay. But it's prospecting. I think two of my listings, one is on the market right now, one is pending right now, came from prospecting. So it works. If I can do a little more of what Ron is telling me to do, I think I'll go even further to the next level.
Yeah, I was holding my ears. I did this when you talked about buyers because I didn't want to hear it.
Yeah,
That's
I
not
know.
what I'm training and teaching you to do. But hey, I believe that once your jump, in my opinion, your next level is when you delegate, and you're working on that as well right now. So that's another thing that I believe will help you reach your next step by delegating more. Okay, good stuff, guys. Congratulations for all the success we see. We do see other successes I want to talk about. For example, I spoke with Selena the other day on her coaching call. She's getting a lot of stuff happening with her sphere of influence, and that's her style. Again, guys, you don't have to do the same system. Like I'm teaching Mike Fair because that's what I did. But I also did farming. I did a lot of farming, and one of the things that I didn't do well was working with the center of influence and past clients. I did not develop relationships, and I still did 80 to 110 deals a year. Most of it was, brand new. The only people I actually kept in touch with as past clients were investors. But I think that keeping in touch and building relationship is an art. That if you focus on that and do it really well, you can do a lot of business. And I have a feeling that if Selena will do what we spoke about on the coaching call, the last coaching call we did, I truly believe that Selena is also a rising shining star coming up with if she executes that plan. Selena, you told me that you got like, I think 4 or 5 coming up stuff that's coming to you. Basically, they're coming to you because of the relationship you're building with these people. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I have 5 listings coming between this month and the next one, the ones that I know. And they're all from my sphere or past clients, people from my church, even my family. And reason why is because it's been a few months that I've been in touch with them more than before. I always had a good relationship with all my past clients, but I try to keep in touch as much as I can. So whenever there's a holiday coming around, I get in touch with them. Whenever I'm around them, I grab the opportunity to talk about real estate. I bake cakes and I bring cakes to their house. I do little things, and that's the things I do. And right now, since I planted the seeds with all that I've done, now I can see the results.
But what we spoke about that you need to do that will quadruple.
Right, so I need to get in front of them every single month with a postcard, for an example. And
right, Selena, by the way, Selena never sent them postcards. She never sent them any mails.
nothing.
Rarely she would send out an email. So we're talking about she's sitting on a gold mine, and people trust her and love her, and that's why they give her referral business. That's why they keep coming back, past clients. So we talked about the potential. She has 300 and some people on a database, and we spoke about an action plan to start reaching out more often to these people to explode her production. And I would assume that between now and the end of the year, like these 2 second quarters, third and fourth quarters of the year, you're going to see a massive amounts of referrals and past clients contacting you if you follow that plan. But I think you're doing a phenomenal job with all these people. So whatever it is that you do works. And we'll keep talking. We'll bring you guys more news as she's developing through this process. This just to show you guys that if you're not a prospector, if you're not just going out there like what we're doing with the Mike Ferry and with our Mondays and Tuesday role play sessions, which by the way are freaking awesome. And if you're not participating, you're losing the core of our culture. It's a new thing that's being developed in the last month. And a lot of stuff is happening because of it. And a lot of people are actually feeling more comfortable to prospect. So if you are a person who doesn't like prospecting, if you start participating in Mondays and Tuesdays, I have a feeling that you might start prospecting. It might cause you even to, listen, even calling your friends and family and past clients is prospecting. You still need to pick up the phone and call people. So it's all good stuff. Let's move on to a different subject. I have finalized the design of the for sale signs, for rent, open house, business cards, all the logos and whatnot. I will send an email with the final files that I still didn't download because I'm super busy this week. I need to download all the files from the designer and then put them all on the driver. So you're going to have, everything will be shared with you. And that's what I want from now on going forward. I want everybody, if you are ordering any new signage, then you have to use the new one. And if you're thinking about doing any postcards going out, if you want to do any advertisements other than social media, in the print or signage or post, business cards and whatnot, you got to follow the guidelines because I want us to uniform. Right now we have outside like maybe 3 or 4 different styles of signage and logos and whatnot. That's my fault because at the beginning, it's not really my fault. I'm just growing the company. I'm trying to improve our image and our brand. But you guys need to catch up. So we're going to give you another 6 months to catch up. I know that some of you have some signage. I know Lisette told me the other day that she has 20 plus signs. Don't worry, Lisette, with all the closings you got coming up, trust me, you can do some new signage. You can actually pay for everyone's signage. So don't be scared. So by the end of the year, I really want everybody to catch up with all the new logos. You see the logo here behind me over here, right here. That's the new logo. The other new logo is the circle itself. These are the only 2 things which we want to use going forward. That's the one behind Carlos, if you can see the logo behind Carlos over there. Now, if you're doing Zoom sessions, and if you're not doing Zoom sessions, by the way, welcome to the new world. Zoom is the thing. So you can do Google Hangout or Zoom, but on Zoom, you can actually use one of the things that you see behind me that makes you look a little bit more professional. I'm finalizing the listing presentation PowerPoint. That listing presentation is designed to help you easily do a listing presentation on a Zoom, which is actually more successful, and I can explain to you why. And I'm going to release that also soon. I'll send everybody an email when it's ready. And it's going to follow the system of Mike Ferry. So if you use the Mike Ferry script or you use the script that I gave you before, both will match this listing presentation. And it will help you close and do your listing presentation in 20 minutes and spend more time on what is important, which is handling objections and talking about your CMA to decide the right price for the property. A couple of videos I watched this week that I think are important. And if you guys are interested, I'm going to maybe create another new WhatsApp group. And I will just create this WhatsApp group for those of you that want to look at important videos, because I am sifting through a lot of material out there to bring you guys the best. I want to create maybe another WhatsApp channel, that group that I can share all these videos and you guys can just go and watch those that I believe can help you in the business. There's a lot of stuff happening right now and a lot of new things that are coming up. I think you guys are lucky because the market did not slow down. Manhattan is right now, I mean, if you compare Manhattan now to what it was 3 years ago, is a disaster what's happening over there. So you guys are very lucky. But don't bank on it. Bank on your skills. Don't bank on the market conditions. You can make money in a seller's market or a buyer's market. So you should always bank on your skills and nothing else. All right, these are all the upcomings. We have, I want to remind you, Mondays and Tuesdays at 7:30 a.m., we start role play sessions. All right. Sunday at 9 a.m., we have our training sessions. And by the way, a lot of you never went on our YouTube channel. There's a lot of stuff. Every single time I do a coaching session or a training session, I upload everything to our YouTube channel. You can also share ambassadors. Ambassadors, one of the most important things for you to do. If you really want to bring value to other agents, bring them our videos and just share those videos with them. So Sundays at 9 a.m., we do all these trainings. The trainings are open for anyone. okay? New agents, experienced agents. It's basically laying out the 25 steps to achieve success. We also talk about farming. We also talk about past clients and center of influence. It's not just prospecting, lead follow-up, Mike Ferry style. In addition to that, on Tuesdays at 6:30, we have the coaching. I did send an email last week about the coaching, just to let you guys know, because I'm getting busier now. We're trying to open up Circle 100 in Italy. I'm negotiating with a guy in Israel. I'm trying to figure out when we're going to open up Connecticut and New York. So I'm trying to do stuff that helps us, the umbrella of Circle 100, to grow. But at the same time, I'm also doing the small stuff for you guys, like logo design and signage design and all these different things that most companies don't do. Most companies just give you the logo and tell you, hey, go do your own thing. So we're trying to do as much as possible to help you guys. I want to see more of you. Going back to the coaching. So when I coach you guys one-on-one and you don't show up, and it happens many times, I don't want to say once or twice, it happens with a lot of you. And that's why I started eliminating coaching for people, because if I'm devoted to your success and it's on my schedule and I need to leave my wife who can barely walk and come and spend time with you on the screen to try to help you build your business, and then you don't show up to the coaching, that's to me, I mean, there's no words to describe what the feelings that I get from that. So I sent out an email to explain to you guys that, look, if you don't show up without letting me know at least 24 hours in advance, and there should be, by the way, no confusion, because when we book a session for coaching, we are actually sharing it on Google Calendar. So you guys should be able to see it on your calendar. Some of you are, not organized, or whatever the story is, prioritizing. Anyways, long story short. So if you miss one and you don't let me know, you have one chance to correct it. If you miss the second one, it's done. And I'm not going to coach that person for the next 6 months. And after that, we'll need to have a conversation about it. So I don't want people to come back and say, oh, you promised coaching and you're not coaching. And I don't want to have this conversation. If I have it, I'm going to fire the person on the spot, because I'm not interested. I'm interested in people who wish to grow, people who are real and respect other people. And that's what I love about the new culture that we have now, that I see a lot of agents that work under teams, not under a team, but as a team. Mondays and Tuesdays are freaking awesome. I love our role play sessions, and it's just going to get better. And we're going to get a lot of results. And the people who actually show up to these sessions will start get results and come up on the board when we're looking at production. So just to summarize, I am always trying to grow what we're doing, always trying to improve on it. And I think you guys should do the same for your own clients. Always try to improve yourself. Always try to go to your next level. If you're not in coaching and you wish to be, you can send me an email. If you are in coaching and you miss your calls, you already know what's going to happen next. You know when the trainings are, you know when the group coaching is. By the way, if we eliminate your one-on-one, doesn't mean you can't participate in the coaching, in the group coaching. So, no further ado, we're going to see everybody again the first week of July. The year, I can't believe the year is over almost. I hope that obviously COVID-19 will evaporate. I don't think it will, but I hope, we can always pray and hope. I just feel that it's going to linger a lot longer than what people think. In my own opinion, it's not going to end up before we have a vaccine and make sure that the vaccine really works. So we decided that we don't want to allow our company agents to do open houses. I want everybody to avoid it. As it is, I think it's a stupid activity. That's my own opinion. It's always been my opinion. I never did open houses unless I'm trying to get more listings. And you can't really go door knocking right now, so that defeats the purpose of doing an open house in the first place. There is guidance that we received from the board on how to do an open house. So you got to follow these, and if you read how to follow these, instructions, it's better off you just don't do open houses. Guys, just list your properties to sell. When you take a listing, take it at the right price and get an offer the following morning. You don't need to do an open house. It's a stupid activity. That's it. When you do showings, be careful, wear a mask, wear gloves, try to stay away from people. Try to do virtual showings on your listings before you actually go and actually show the property, because you're risking everybody when you do a showing. Every time you do a showing, you're risking the homeowner, you're risking the buyers, you're risking anyone who walks in there. And I just want to stay away from all that stuff. I want us to actually try to avoid and take advantage of the new thing. And the new thing is that buyers and sellers agree to meet us on a Zoom. They agree to do a virtual showing before they actually do the real one. And many people putting offers. I know a lot of agents that are making money with never showing properties. They put the property under contract, and then they have their 3-day inspection contingency where they can go in and do their inspection. All right, these are my thoughts on the subject. And that's it. We'll see you guys next month or Sunday morning.